Hello, welcome to Tarot with Tanya. This is 7 cards for 7 days. And we are looking at the week of March 17. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of those who celebrate it. And then we end on Sunday, March the 23rd. And oh my gosh, what a week in terms of the astrology, because we have the sun moving into Aries this week, which means the vernal equinox that day, and so forth. So thank you so much for being here. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome for the first time if you are new. I'll go over that astrology and then look at the 7 cards for the week, and then we'll close with a Tree Keeper's Oracle card. As always, take what resonates for you, leave the rest behind, because it's a reading for the general, for the collective. So use your own intuition about what applies to you. So we begin our week with the moon in Scorpio, the very intense Scorpio, the psychic, intuitive. That's the house. Scorpio is concerned with death, taxes, transformations, letting go of things. Also, so we'll begin our week there. Then we're going to move into the Sagittarius, which is a different energy, the wanderer, the traveler, the philosopher, the energy of puzzling things out in a way. Fiery, so we go from the water to the fire, and then after that we'll end in that earthy Capricorn, practical, usually ambitious, industrious, executive kind of energy. All right, so we still have Mercury. Mercury just last week on Friday went retrograde, so watch out for those delays in technology, communications, travel plans. And Venus still is retrograde as well, and both of them are heading back toward Pisces. They're in Aries right now, going backwards to Pisces, where we're going to have that big pile up at the end of the month of planets in Pisces. They'll be joining Neptune, going with the Sun, all kinds of things will be happening, and I'll talk about that when that comes up. So this Wednesday, we're going to have the Sun conjunct Neptune, which is great for daydreaming. It is not great for practical things. You can float, you can be in contemplation. It's great for being romantic. It's great for enjoying beauty, using your imagination. You want to be careful about shady people. Because Neptune on the dark side has that potential too, a little delusional, a little deceitful. So just make sure that you're looking for the integrity in other people as well. Thursday, I already mentioned, that's when the Sun is entering Aries and we get the vernal or the spring equinox. And I believe the time is about 4 a.m. Central Time where I am. And that is great for making a map, like a treasure map for your year, setting goals. I think it's the real spring, the beginning of the year. I mean, obviously it's the real spring, but I think it's the beginning of the year as well, energetically, versus, the Jan 1 thing. So great for restarting and making those plans for the rest of your year. Then on Friday, we have Venus sextiling Pluto. So that takes our focus to being on wealth and power from money. Both of those planets like the money. It's good for, strangely, insurance, for new ways to make a living. You're looking for, maybe being very social that day, but you want depth, not quantity. So depth over quantity. And it could also lead to some kind of emotional crisis in a relationship. That would be the Venus part with the relationship, Pluto, the potential crisis. So we want to examine our feelings, let go, and watch out for any manipulation. Then Saturday, we have the Sun conjunct Venus. And so this is great for love. It makes us feel optimistic, relaxed. It can be a really nice, sweet, loving energy that day when those two meet up in a conjunction. And, and then again, Venus will be going the other direction. Sun will be going forward. Venus will be going backwards. So it again, keep heading right into Pisces. So then on Sunday, the 23rd, we have the Sun sextile Pluto. Now, this could also mean new beginnings in life, letting go of toxic people, getting rid of things no longer useful. So this is great for the spring cleaning, right? For many people, it's spring break. I mean, I still teach, so that affects me, gives me some time off. I hope you guys get some time too. So disagreements can be mended under this kind of energy with the Sun, and that positive flow with Pluto. New solutions can be found because of that too, and there can be a pioneering spirit because that Sun is in Aries now, and a desire to advance, and Pluto puts a lot of oomph behind all of that. So busy week in the stars. The cards are interesting because they start out pretty positive and supportive, and then end the week with a little bit more of a challenge. So maybe there's some balance there in terms of the astrology too. So Monday, St. Patrick's Day, have a good time. You got the 10 of Vessels or 10 of Cups here, really bringing in a positive vibration, lots of loving energy, kindness, that oneness with other people that you can experience. The one has that energy of connection to source, to loving the self, and here it's kind of a group love. Which is a really nice energy, and it is a water day because the moon's in Scorpio that day. So I feel like this gives a just kind of a wonderful, and splash, is a word that comes out with this card, right? All this lovely energy, positive, splashing down on us. We stay with the water on Tuesday, and another wonderful card. So this is, obviously you've got the 3 here, the 3 of Vessels or Cups, and this is harmony, creativity, because it's 3 associated with the Empress. This is like 3, often it's associated with women, but it could be any 3 people really getting together and enjoying things, having a good time, being in harmony about something, and celebrating that, enjoying life. On Wednesday, we move into the mental energies with the arrows, which are typically swords in most decks. So here, of course, you have this kind of, we don't really fully see the design on this one, and I don't know if there's any actual design like this. And this echoes those, what do they call them? They're like drawings in the chalk in the hills in England, and this is that kind of idea. And you have the smoke. I assume that's what that's supposed to be. There's no fire here, but that energy shooting up. It's almost like I'm gonna put positive energy out there and see where it goes. So an upliftment of the mental body is the way that strikes me. And the moon will be in Sag. I mean, that's a fire sign by that point or around that point. And the fire and the air, they're both the masculine elements, and they work well together, so it feels like that lifting energy and aiming for a goal. When we get to Thursday, we get a card called the Woodward, and this is in the majors, and often this card would be called Justice in other decks. And thinking about our character here, I feel like he's the protector of the woods. And, you know, the woods being a sacred and fertile place, a place of magic, and where, you know, a secret life is going on. And, you know, I've got his familiar here. I think it's a lynx. And there's a hawk behind him. He's got his magical talismans. He's got his, you know, fur sort of cap here. His skins he's wearing, his sword. So it's like, woe to the one who, you know, crosses the laws of the forest. And of course we can apply this to society in a larger way. And this could still be, well, it would be in that Sagittarius kind of energy. So to me, it's sort of a philosophy of the woods and of the sacred and protecting that. On Friday, we're in a fire energy with the bows here, and I love the colors on this card, the beautiful blue background of the sky, and then of course the hot colors of the fire. The people seem excited. And this card does often have a sort of sparky appearance because it's that kind of energy. It's sending out an energy of can be challenge, can be romantic, as in, you know, court and spark kind of energy. But it's also connected in this deck to a card called, I believe it's called the Stag. And that is that kind of lust for life energy. Being strong within the self by knowing the self. So, you know, this could be like claiming all the parts or standing up for something that you really believe in, or, you know, sparking with other people to come up with a new plan. We have a second 8, and this one's a very different energy. This one is much more challenging in my perspective. I like this particular depiction of this one a lot. So it would normally be the 8 of swords. Here it's arrows. And, you know, this person does seem capable, well dressed for the weather, has a light, has a walking stick, but yet, I'll try to bring it in closer so you can see the face. There's a bit of distress on the face, even though it is illumined. And of course, the way the tree is leaning and the cape is whipping, we get the idea that it's a very cold wind. But yet the person is able to ward off the arrows. And like in the Thoth deck, this is called interference. So it can be somebody like, you know, shooting barbs at you in a way, negative energy, but it also can be self-generated. And so you just kind of want to let go of that. That 9 of Swords especially that comes after this one is about that, turning that in on the self. Here it seems to be coming at the self, but not internalized. So just be aware of that energy next Saturday, which I'm going to look back. It's kind of interesting because that's such a nice day in terms of the astrology with the Sun conjunct Venus. So I would say, you know, use this as a way to let go of doubts. Just say, you know, that's just a mental, like a mind trick kind of thing, and let it go. Be into that luster, that very positive energy that comes from accepting the whole self. Then, a little bit challenging the next day too. This is our Sunday, and that's when the Sun is sextile Pluto. Now this card to me fits pretty well with that because, you know, as you can see here, or maybe, it's called respect. And I love the fierceness on the face of our being here, our man, looking intensely fierce. Having, I would say antlers. I started to say horns, but they're really antlers coming out of the head. Looking like, don't mess with me in a way. I've got your number. So protective energy. And it is also a card of protecting your energy, our energy. So how do we use it? Use that energy wisely. 9s are starting, you know, it's going to peak out on that 10 soon. So this is really that like it's practically brimming over with energy right here at that 9. So just make sure you're using it. Like if there does need to be a disagreement mended, you show up, you speak your truth, and you remain detached from the outcome, but you're using that energy well. All right, so those are our cards, and overall I would say, like before, that it's an easier beginning to the week than it is an ending, but you know, the balance comes in with the stars being more supportive toward that ending as well, though it could be some work with the 8 of arrows, the 9 of bows, with the sun conjuncting Venus and sextiling Pluto. All right, we will end with our Tree Keepers card. And I love this, and I feel, again, it really fits the week. Receive the new energy. And this one's called the Keeper of Receiving. It's 39 in the deck. I'll give you a nice visual. It's so spring looking to me too. It reminds me of a Robert Frost poem about how nature's first gold is green, or green is gold. I'm not really sure which one it is, but it's that green and gold combination. All right, the key to feeling grounded is to dig deep in your soul's soil to know your worth. Let the blessings come to you by cultivating receptivity rather than solving, caregiving, rescuing, or fixing. Empaths love to do those things, and I'll bet a bunch of you are empaths watching this. So, forest life depends on reciprocity. The tree keepers held this tenet sacred. Receiving is a large part of that process. A tree doesn't seek out squirrels or birds to shelter. It doesn't uproot itself to follow every weary traveler offering shade, nor does it conjure sun or rain to grow itself. It simply is, allowing reciprocity to occur. Do the work to discover your inherent worthiness. Root down deep into it. This will give you the confidence to know what passes by you is not for you. If the door doesn't open, it's not your door. Whatever is for you will come to you simply by the power of your vibration. It is the rule of the forest and the root of all sovereignty. And you know, this fits also. We have, you know, Chiron still in the first house in Aries, so there's a lot of, you know, the wounded healer Chiron. There's a lot of energy around healing, the way we think of the self, the way we conceptualize who we really are. So I think that card is wonderful for helping us dig into our worthiness. All right, beloveds, thank you so much again for being here. Please consider subscribing if you haven't, sharing, liking, and I'm wishing you the best possible week, and I'll see you again in 7 days.